Welcome back to the second part of knitting baby romper, and let's check how many centimeters I've done. So from the bottom here it is 15 centimeters, and now let's count how many rounds. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. So in total I've done 30 rounds in garter stitch. And now all your stitches you need to divide in half. So you have the red and yellow markers. So find the center between those between them from the right side and on the left side. On the right side here I have one stitch more than on the left side, but I'm going to decrease it after we knit short rows. I will show you, I will not forget about it. So no worries if you have one stitch more on one side than on another side. And now to knit short rows, we need to uh, slip stitches uh, from the back part. So 4 stitches from the back part, we are going to remove them to the front part like this. And the same we are going to do from the other side, from the left side. Transfer stitch marker like this. And now we are going to knit short rows from one stitch marker to another stitch marker. And first what I'm going to do, knit forgot to tell you that you have to finish with a purl round. And don't forget the first stitch after the red stitch marker, we purl it, and then it's a knit round. We knit all stitches. Now we knit until the second purple stitch marker. Knit all stitches. So this is the first purple stitch marker, and go on knitting till the yellow now. After the yellow stitch marker, don't forget to purl the next stitch as we did in previous rounds. So slip the stitch marker, purl next stitch, and go on knitting till the second purple stitch marker. So here where we are going to start short rows. Slip the purple stitch marker, and now knit the next stitch, and next stitch after, slip holding yarn, working yarn in front. Then return the yarn back and turn your work. Like this you are wrapping the slipped stitch. Now slip it again, holding yarn in front, and now place the yarn back because we are on the wrong side and we are going to knit again. When we knit garter stitch in rows, we always knit, no purl rows here. So knit the next stitch, slip the stitch marker and knit all stitches till the first purple stitch marker. I want to show everything here, and then you will do it yourself. So the stitch before the yellow stitch marker we knitted as well. So we knit all stitches. Okay, almost near the first stitch marker. Slip it, then knit the next stitch, and then we are going to repeat. Slip the next stitch holding yarn in front, then turn and slip back to the right hand needle the stitch, wrapping it around like this. And now knit all stitches again till the second stitch marker, like this. But anyway, I would like to show you. After the yellow stitch marker, don't forget to purl the next stitch, slip, purl, and knit again. So we are knitting back and forth, like this. We are making the back part of trousers higher than the front part. Okay, slip the stitch marker, the second purple stitch marker, knit, and now you see that robbed stitch. So you need to find that yarn that was around and place it on the left hand needle and knit this stitch like this. Uh, we do it because we want to get rid of the hole after. If we don't do this, there will be a hole. Knit next stitch and repeat the same. So slip the stitch after, holding yarn in front, then turn and slip back to the right hand needle and knit all other stitches. Do not remove stitch markers. So till the first purple stitch marker. Still would like to show you. All stitches, knitting all stitches. Okay, slip and then knit the next stitch. And to get rid of the hole, we need to pick up the wrapped yarn, but we are picking up it from the right side and place it on the left hand needle and knit together like this. Then knit the next stitch and repeat. Slip the next stitch holding working yarn in front, then turn, return this one more time, yarn in front, turn, slip the first stitch holding yarn in front again, and then go on knitting. Knit till the purple stitch marker here. Okay, and now slip the stitch marker, and here we are going to knit 3, and now pick up the yarn that is wrapping the stitch, then knit this stitch, knit 2 together, and then knit 1 and repeat. Slip the next stitch holding working yarn in front, turn, slip the first stitch with yarn in front, wrapping it, and then knit all the way across until you reach the first purple stitch marker. Knit this stitch, knit, okay, slip the purple stitch marker, knit 3, and now as we are on the wrong side, from the right side pick up the yarn that is wrapping the stitch, place it on the left hand needle and knit 2 together. Then knit 1, slip next stitch holding yarn in front and turn, again slip with yarn in front and knit all stitches again. So now we are going to knit till the purple stitch marker and repeat the same what we've done before with the next 2 stitches, then return back to the first purple stitch marker and again repeat here the same with the next 2 stitches, and then I will meet you at this point. Okay, now after this purple stitch marker I have 1, 2, 3, 8 stitches. So slip and knit all the way till the next purple stitch marker, the second one, and then we are not going to knit in rows anymore. We are going start knitting in rounds again. So slip the yellow stitch marker, purl next stitch as you remember after the yellow stitch marker, and go on. Knit, knit. So knit 7 after the second purple stitch marker. Now again place the roped yarn, pick it up and place it on the left hand needle and knit 2 together, like this, and now go on knit until the red stitch marker. Okay, red stitch marker. So now what we have, as you can see, the back part is higher than the front part. So that's what we wanted to get, and that's how we reached knitting the short rows. Now we are going to purl next round, and here I'm going to decrease 2 stitches. As you remember, I was talking before about it, and we're going to knit in rounds as I said before. So the next stitch, yeah, and here we are going to close the last short row hole, the last hole that we've got from the short rows. Purl the next stitch and purl all other stitches. So now decrease this stitch, and in this round I'm going to make 3 more decreases. So just redistribute them evenly, because after that we are going to start trimming. So where is it? This is the hole. Purl the stitch as well. So pick up the bar here, the yarn that was roping the stitch, place it on the left hand needle, and here we are going purl 2 together, pull tight, purl all other stitches, and so no holes. And let's make 1 more decrease here, purl 2 together, then before yellow stitch marker, 1 more decrease. So I said 3 more decreases, but 4 in total, 5 decreases in this round. Then we will make 1 more decrease before the second purple stitch marker, somewhere in the middle, purl two together, and then one more after. So in total I'm going to decrease 5 stitches in this round. You can remove, by the way, purple stitch markers. Purl two together, so somewhere in the middle between stitch markers. And the last stitch. That's it. We have finished the last row, and now we are going to start knitting the ribbon part. So the number of stitches, the total number of stitches now is divisible by 2. Please count. And now we are going to start knitting ribbon part. Knit 1, purl 1. So we don't need already the purl stitch that we usually did after the stitch marker. So we start with knit 1 right away, purl 1. Knit 1, purl 1. Like this, go on knitting until you reach approximately 10 centimeters. Okay, I've done the ribbon part, and now let's measure it. It is exactly 10 centimeters, and now I'm going to show you how to bind off. To bind off, you can use a needle. If you know, there is a beautiful Italian way of how to uh, bind off stitches using a tapestry needle or yarn needle. I'm going to use now just a normal simple bind off. For this, I slip the first stitch, and the next stitch is a purl stitch. I purl it, and now I slip first stitch over the second one. Then the next stitch is a knit stitch. I knit it and slip it again, first stitch over the second. The next stitch is a purl. I purl it and slip again. Knit, slip first stitch over the second, then purl and slip again. Knit, slip first stitch over the second one, and like this go on till the end. And at the end I will show you how to join two edges. For this you will need a yarn needle. Go on till the stitch marker. So I've done everything, and you see I have a jog here, and here I will show you how I usually join it. So this is the first stitch here. It's a little bit lower than the other. So find the back loop of the stitch and insert the needle into the back loop. Now turn. Find the last stitch now and find also the back loop of the last stitch. So this is the last stitch and insert the needle into the back loop of the last stitch. Now turn again and now find again that stitch, first stitch, and go underneath both loops like this. And that's what you will get. Almost invisible join here and no joke. And now weaving ends. Usually I make a small knot and on the wrong side I'm hiding it, hiding the tail like this. I like to use a tapestry needle here or yarn needle. Uh, it's easier compare with hook if you're using hook like this and pull a little bit, and this is the right side. Little I like to do it till the end. So and cut the yarn. This is the part number 2, and in the next part, in the third part, we are going to knit suspenders and make a buttonholes. Here you see some tails. Don't forget at the end to weave all tails in ends. And I will see you in the next part.